Dragana Adzancic. She's a bold Serbia Fellow. So welcome, Dragana, and thank you for joining us here today. Do let us know more
Hello,
about
Anya. Thank you
you
for
and
having
about your
me.
business idea.
Yeah, hello again. I'm really happy that I have the opportunity here to talk to you and to be here to kind of disseminate the idea of bold fellowship and everything that we've been doing so far. So again, I'm so grateful for this opportunity and thank you, Anya, for this wonderful introduction of yours.
Thank you, Dragana. Dragana, tell us more about what you've been working on and where do you draw inspiration in working in a field such as green tech and sustainability? We know it's very popular these days, but what is it that inspires you and what is actually your business idea?
All right. So the first, I must touch a little bit of a history of mine that I had. So while I was when I was 16 years old, I went to my first entrepreneurship symposium. I was a second year of high school, and I really wanted to change something in my community. I lived in a really small town, which I live also currently. And I saw that there are many great young minds around me, that young people are striving to do something more with their lives and with their willingness to do any kind of action, but we didn't have enough opportunity. So I was really eager to find some cases for me that I could enroll into and that I could participate into. So I was searching for any kind of opportunity for myself and my interests on internet, and I found like an open call from European Youth Center from Belgrade, which is also a part of European Card Association on European level. And they gave me the opportunity to participate in a symposium in Portugal on year 2015, where I actually firstly introduced my idea about a recycling center in my hometown. Since currently in this region there is no, let's say, more sophisticated industry or company that is dealing with waste management, and I really wanted to be the first that's kind of going to deal with that problem. So I find it very, very inspirational for myself that I had that idea when I was really young, and that it sustained uh, alongside my years and my studies, and when I started working here again. So it kind of stuck. It got stuck into my mind, and I at one point realized that I am not willing to give up on it, and that maybe now is the time to actually take some action and do something about it.
I actually wanted to say that listening to you and thinking, wow, 2015, that was a long while ago, almost 10
Yeah,
years you've kind of been committed to this idea. And
exactly.
what I wanted to ask you is in what ways is entrepreneurship a more suitable path to pursue such a dream, such an idea? And not maybe you could have gone through different routes. Maybe you could have gone through advocacy or become a part of an NGO, try to advocate within your local representatives or similar. Why entrepreneurship requires a special skill set that suits you?
Well, since when I went to study political sciences in Belgrade, my main idea was actually that to kind of be impactful through some kind of NGO and try to, let's say, raise awareness of the problems in community that I think that were important. But I had like around 4 years of that experience, and my experience showed that although that kind of, let's say, non-governmental action and activist action is really important for our society, it has a certain type of limit where you can have an impact on. And so I also saw that a lot of people had kind of let's say, developed skepticism about NGO and what NGO does in terms of finances, in terms of the things that it did, in terms of the actual problems that they targeted. So I was a little bit disappointed in that way because I couldn't do as much as I wanted to do. So at one point, I understood that maybe just kind of developing the industry and showing people that that thing that I want to change or the thing that I want to improve is actually touchable, is actually visible. That is going to make maybe a better impact, and it's going to be more impactful on a bigger amount of people. So that is why I actually chose entrepreneurship over NGO. But I also am very proud of the years that I kind of got to learn in the process of, making some mistakes, trying different things, and, being like all over the place. I got this current perspective exactly from the experience that I had from the NGO. So I wouldn't change it for anything.
And that's great to hear. Now you have this whole plethora of experiences and skill sets you can just kind of implement as you go along and, sticking to this path. So tell me, I know that you're full-time employed. And
Yes.
how do you find the time and the energy, and how do you structure your days to keep working on your business?
Yeah, the tricky question. Yeah, currently I am a full-time employee in a company here in my hometown. It is sometimes very exhausting because well, it takes a lot of effort and energy to kind of commit yourself to your full-time work and be a good employee, and and on the other side develop something that you really care about. But it is because I am a full-time employee, and it is because I'm doing something that I perceive as a good job, but in the same time just kind of a necessary step into surviving in order to develop my other ideas. It is actually because of that that I every day, even more and more, I get the urge to kind of change that and be more of a person that relies on her own possibilities, her own wishes, her own ideas that could be implemented, other than just being one small figure in a system that is pretty big, and I probably don't make such an impact that I would like to. So I am struggling. I must say it's not very easy, as sometimes I like to represent it, but I will be stubborn. I'm sure that I will be stubborn until I kind of manage to make it everything as it should be, like
I love
successful.
I love Dragana how as we were speaking you're really showing these key components of being an entrepreneur, which is like risk taking, being
Yeah.
being determined, believing in your dream, believing in yourself. But I also wanted to ask you went through the Bold Fellowship program with your first Serbia cohort, and who was perhaps like an entrepreneurship role model that you've encountered? Maybe you have a mentor or you've received a good piece of advice that is actually helping you stay on that entrepreneurial path.
Mhm. Well, I must say that from the start, the team, yeah, the whole team that actually you, Philip, and Boana, that actually led us to all those workshops and let's say events, really made us feel kind of wow. Well, they are doing the great stuff, and all the things that you've said to us, the kind of the also the pre-sessions before the trip to America really inspired, I think, not only me but all of us into taking action and doing the stuff that we should do. So I'm very thankful to you first.
Wonderful.
Other than that, of course, there were many successful mentors, professors, and assistants that actually helped us navigate through everything that we needed in America while we were attending the events. I must say, Matthew Haberstro was a really valuable person to every one of us, since he really took time and effort to show us the way and show us how are they doing it there in Buffalo, both in New York. And I must say that I really took a lot of lessons from him, and I learned a lot from him. Other than that, there's some let's say, entrepreneurs in America that I was really, let's say, inspired by, and one of them was Franziska Trotman. She is, and I hope I spelled her a surname right, but she is a CEO of a recycling center that converts glass into sand for coastal renovation. And she is an incredible girl. She's perhaps our age. She's very young, and she did it like she started really small. She started like having just one machine on her garage and starting doing something, and that something led to something else. And it was really inspirational how she actually took a lot of people on her journey and made an incredible community that actually made some impact in her town and her country in general. So
I love
it
that
was
it's
wonderful
been
to yeah.
I love that it's been several months since you've actually been in the US and you still remember exact specific,
Yeah.
people and experiences. And I was wondering, just to kind of jump off of that, and you mentioned
Mhm.
Matt, who's one of our graduate assistants who helps out Vol Fellowship become what it is. What do you think are the benefits of having an international support network when you're trying to build a domestic venture in Serbia?
It is firstly a huge privilege to actually know every one of you and to gain the experience through learning from the people that actually had some experience themselves,
Mhm.
and we could learn from their mistakes and from their good practices. So I believe that people here currently in Serbia, especially young people, are dreaming about that kind of opportunity. So it must be a privilege to kind of go there and see all of those stuff and kind of return and being able to implement or steal some ideas. So, but in a good way, of course, or to
It's
replicate.
tweaking,
Let's say
it's tweaking, it's pivoting, it's never a proper stealing. But I
yes.
wanted to also say, okay, you actually belong to a very big ecosystem, which is in Serbia. It has all these different incubators, innovation hubs, and similar. And I know that Bold Fellowship supports you in one capacity, but what is, let's say, the support you may need, but you haven't been able to receive it? And what are some of the challenges of being in Serbia, belonging to this ecosystem?
Yeah, I agree with you. In Belgrade, especially, there are a lot of opportunities for people that want to that want to develop startups and businesses. But I must say, the greatest challenge for the people other that who are living in Belgrade is definitely in small towns, in small communities that are not developed in that certain type of support. And maybe I would really be happy to see more local governments that are taking a stand into helping young people and giving them the opportunity to develop something. It doesn't have to be a big like financial support. It doesn't have to be something that is, all over the place like fireworks and money and I don't know what not, but it should just be maybe at least for beginning a vocal support like a meeting or a gathering or a club or anything that could give the impression of, hey, we do want to invest in you, we do want to help you, let's see what are our resources that we can give you to use, for instance, and then we can talk further. So maybe that would be the answer to that question.
I like that. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, just as you were saying, as you were speaking, you need these local leaders, but I always think of you as a local leader, like you guys are the change makers of Serbia in my
Yeah.
mind. And I know that with your determination, there's going to be some amazing stuff happening through the Center for Recycling. And I was wondering, you said you were thinking about it for 10 years. How long have you actively been working on it as a business plan that you've had?
My first business model canvas was actually developed 10 years ago
Okay.
with the help of yeah with the help of our one of our mentors on symposium. But I must say I didn't do as much as concrete work only until up to Bold Fellowship in United States. So there were like, I don't know how much, let's say 4 or 5 months that actually passed by from our trip, and I've been trying to do some other things that I really needed to clear up, such as finishing my studies, in order for it not to be my burden when I actually decided, hey, I'm opening a company, it starts today, everything is clear, I'm really committed and everything. I needed to pay off my debt to my family that I actually finished the university, and to give them that degree into just to be sure that I made their dream and maybe also my dream come true. So now is the time for those new things. I am currently actually writing some proposals for projects and open calls for seed investments for startups in ideation phase that are organized from some incubators and foundations in Serbia. I'm in the process of doing that, and I really hope that in 1 month time I will be able to present some of the results of that work. And we will see. We'll see. I'm positive about it, and hopefully it will turn out great.
Listen, congratulations on this very important milestone in your academic and professional career, first of
Thank
all.
you.
But I wanted to ask you, since it's been, as you say, almost 10 years, it's been a long entrepreneurial journey with its stagnations and movements. What would be your piece of advice to somebody who is maybe just experiencing that? They have an idea, but they're going to put it on the back burner. They're just going to have it, kind of on their desk somewhere or in their mind, in some sort of notes. What would you be your advice to them that they want to build this business idea or venture?
As a top procrastinator and as a top perfectionist, I must say, just do something. And as one of the actors that I really like said, when you do something and when you start somewhere, that something will lead to something else, and it will develop further, just like a snowball.
Yeah.
You should just not wait to make it perfect. You should just not wait all the time to wait for a better moment. The moment is now. You're not going to be younger than you're now. You're not going to have more energy than you have now. If you wait for more time, more problems are going to come up. So just start, try. And I would say to any young person, just don't give up. Be stubborn in it. Be determined and passionate, and you will succeed in something. Maybe the idea it will not be as your initial one in your head, but if you have the purpose, if you have the goal, something will eventually come up.